Hello you YouTubers, this is Mid Valley here with a Zing deck profile. Now, I just got it up and running with 2 paths. I'll show you in the deck profile when I talk about it. Let's start out with the Chi-Wins. 2 Chi-Wins. Now, when they have the Yang Zing effect, whenever they're destroyed by a card effect or battle, they search for a Yang Zing monster, so you could go for any Yang Zing monster in your deck. Which, I'd probably go, and it doesn't have to be attack or defense. Both tuners have that effect. I'd probably go for Bixie whenever I'm in a duel, or just depends on the situation. But that's Chi-Win, and also I forgot, it also has the effect if a Yang Zing monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, it expects itself from the grave, but it's banished after it leaves the field. Now, Jiaotu is the second tuner I play. I've heard a lot of people say run 3, but I like 2. Just because if it's in your opening hand and you have any Yang Zing card in your hand, ditch those, spec 2. So, say, opening hand, you'd spec a Bixie with 0 attack, then a Suwani with 0 defense. That's just me, though. He also has a Yang Zing effect. They all do. And I run 3 Bixie, because who wouldn't run 3 Bixie? They have the Yang Zing effect, plus if there's Synchro Summon, the Synchro monster is unaffected by traps, and also if your opponent say is about to attack, you could automatically Synchro Summon during their battle phase, but you could also Synchro Summon during their main phase 1. And wow, I run 2 of them. I was running 1, but I figured 2 is better, because who wouldn't want your Synchro monster to have the effect to where it's not affected by spells? Plus, it also has the other 2 Yang Zing effects that the tuners don't have. Now, I dropped Suwani to 2 because he is good to beef up your Synchro monsters, but not that good, because he only gives your Synchro monsters plus 500 attack and defense. So if you put that with Bian, which is unaffected by, can't be destroyed by battle, it'll basically, they'd have to try and run it over with piercing, or just destroy it with something. It's just really hard to get over. I had several duels where they had trouble getting over my monsters. And I run 2 Bian. I'm gonna jump it up to 3 when I get a 3rd one, because he's better because of the not destroyed by battle, but he also has the Yang Zing effects, and you could, with Suwani and Pulao, you could also Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn, main phase or battle phase, depending on which phase they're in. I run 1 Teote because it's a level 5, and if I have Jiaotu on the field or Chi-Win, I could sync for a 6 or 7. And it has the effect to where if someone tries to snatch steal it, my synchro monster won't be affected by it, because it cannot change the ownership of the card. I run one junk synchron because you get a level 2 or lower from the grave, so you could get either Bixie or Pool out to the field and sync, and they have your synchro monster has the effect to where it's unaffected by spells or traps. Now on to the spells. I run 2 Zing paths. I heard people run it at 3, but 2 is good because it's basically a pot of avarice for the Zings. You take 3 Zings from your grave and put them into your deck and shuffle your deck, and then draw 2. It's pot of avarice, basically. I play 1 for 1 because it's a deck thinner. I may or may not switch this for a different card. I've run into situations where it was useful and the opponent's like, what the fuck? Because they've never seen it in the Zing deck. I play Creature Swamp just in case I can't get over something and I only have, say, Bixie, well, probably not Bixie, but like Chiwin on field and they're not attacking, and I just Creature Swamp, attack into my own monster, so basically I get a Chiwin engrave, or a Zing, depends on what the situation is. I play 2 upstarts just for the extra draw, plus also it's a deck thinner, but I may replace this with a couple of mistakes when I get a chance to, and put the upstarts in my side deck. I played double Dark Hole because who wouldn't in this deck? It's basically 2 Raigekis and you're just spamming the field, especially if you have Zing creation on the field. It's just amazing. I play a Raigeki because, again, fuck your opponent. Soul Charge just to get that extra oomph whenever I can. Like, if I'm in a tight situation, I'll play it and go into my extra deck just because I can. I play triple MSTs because fuck back row. I play triple creations because the effect is if a monster is destroyed by card effect or battle, I get to search a Zing monster and special summon it. And I only could use 1 card effect per turn, but they do stack. So if you have multiple on the field, that's a plus. Now, skill drain. Your monsters aren't going to be affected because they're all graveyard effects. Plus, if you have Bixie and you synchro summon, your synchro monster is unaffected by the skill drain. And also, fuck everybody else. Except Cleese, of course. Call of the Haunted, so I don't get hit. It'll help me spam the field. Deeprise, if I played the Deeprise because the opponent has a bigger monster and I'm trying to top deck something. It's just there for defense purposes. But it came real handy this last regionals that I went to, which was yesterday. Mirror Force, of course, run Mirror Force, because who wouldn't? And Torrential, just because you could spam the field. So, if you lay this your last turn, wait until your opponent's done, and then you summon Yang Zing, and basically it's Raigeki again. And you just spam the field. Now, onto the extra deck, I play Underworld Fighter Bulma, because he is basically a monster reborn. And I play in Armades, and also your synchros get the Yang Zing effect, so yeah. Now, I play Armades because your opponent can't activate any card effects, or basically, if I go into Armades and he doesn't have the Big C effect on him, they can't activate any traps because of Armades' effect. Unless I have skill drain on the field, then that's just fucked. I play Catastor because fuck every other attribute other than Dark. And Orient Dragon is just a filler. I don't know what I'm gonna put in its place. Just right now, Goyo. I play Goyo because who wouldn't? It's a 28 beat stick, plus if I play Suwani and it gains the 500, so it's a 33 beat stick. So who wouldn't? Now, Yazi. Yazi is very, very helpful in this deck, because I ran into two duels where, like, this last regionals, my last game, I played against Spiritual Beast, and it was game 3, I played Yazi. He couldn't attack it with Dolphin. No, he couldn't target it with Dolphin's effect, so I basically won game because of Yazi. It's unaffected by, it cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects, and also it has a Yang Zing effect, and you could also target another Yang Zing and target one of your opponent's cards to destroy it. Black Rose, because who the fuck wouldn't want a nuke? Baxia, just because it'll turn into a beat stick if you play Suwani, and also with its other effect to bounce for how many attributes you use to synchro summon with. Who wouldn't? My favorite is BL's out of this whole side extra deck, because it can't be destroyed by battle, plus if you use Suwani, Big C, stuff like that, they just can't get over it because it's unaffected, plus you have skill drain on the field. And also, let me back up to my skill drains. I'm thinking of running 3. Yes, sometimes it's cloggy, but it is necessary. Anyways, Crimson Blader, just so your opponent can't normal or special summon their next turn. Plus, it's a 28 beat stick without the Yang Zing effects. Mistworm, because of course bounce. Then plus the Yang effects turns into basically a wall. Leo, because of its effect and the Yang effects, so it's a pretty beefy beat stick. Now, also another favorite of mine, Star Eater. I barely go into them, but I've gone into them several times during regionals, and they're just like, what the fuck? How can I get over that? Especially with the Yang effects. Now on to my side deck. I play Thunder King Ryo, cause who wouldn't? Also, this is me and my friend was thinking, and he brought this up to me. Why don't I play Mask Change the Second? I cite it cause no one's really expecting that. I've played this several times at regionals, and they're like, holy fuck, I never thought of that. I play 2 Swords of Concealing Light because of
the Gen Lock.
The Gen Lock, thank you. I play Imperial Iron Wall for my chi wins, and also if I'm going up against Spiritual Beast or Yusenjus that play macros and I can't do anything about it, and it's just, I actually played this last game against Spiritual Beast, and he's like, fuck, now what am I gonna do? Cause he just played macro, and he can't fusion, summon, or anything. I play 2 wiretaps cause fuck traps. I play Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell cause fuck Necros, fuck Yusenjus, their spells basically. Now, I play a couple extra deck cards. Koga for the plus 500 attack for every one of your opponent's monsters. And Darklock, cause fuck your opponent. And I'm missing 2 cards out of my extra deck. Side deck. My bad. Like I said, I'm gonna side deck the upstarts when I could get a couple of mistakes. But that'll be whenever I could get them. But thanks for watching. This has been Mid Valley with the Yang Zing deck profile. Peace.